welcome to the Mama Nevin Knits YouTube channel. My name is Joan, and I am Mama Nevin here on YouTube, as well as on Instagram, Telegram. I am Mama Nevin on Ravelry. I don't do very much on Ravelry or Facebook, so if you're trying to send me something on Facebook, sorry. Today is September 7th, so some of you are starting to enjoy reap the fall vibes. Not so much here. This is episode 87, and it is 96 degrees right now. Wah wah. So, our plumber didn't make it this past week, so we do have to wait until tomorrow for the plumbing to get fixed. So how is everyone doing? How was your Labor Day? I quite enjoyed mine by doing nothing. So, all right, so let's get started talking about some of my projects. So the orange socks, I got to get those done, and so I felt like I made a good effort this week. I got about 30 rows done. So I was here, and now I'm here. So about 20 more rows, and I can put the heel on these, and go down the foot and be done. So I'm excited about that. I did a tiny bit of cross stitch this week, and I mean, I can't even tell you how tiny. So here's my little bear, and I did this red part right here. Now the thing about the bear, I'm going to leave this up here so you can see it. The thing about the bear that I'm just really struggling with is they're doing a lot of quarter stitches on it, and it's like, those are hard to do. So, and then here is my cup, my hot chocolate cup. I did a little bit of the black, and that was it. I just kind of did those this morning. But, you know, I mean, you do what you can when you can, right? And that was it, except for blankets. The rest of what I worked on, you know, what you do when it's 104 is you work on blankets. So, I did one square of my Christmas blanket. And let's see, I'm trying to figure out which side I'm going to have room on to put I'm going to put the picture of how it looks so far up here. This is a G hook. And so I got another square done, and I'll finish it someday. Okay, so I worked on, remember how I talked last week about the mosaic blanket and how I was going to do the bottom part green instead of brown. So here is, I did the whole bottom section. So the next section I think is red candy stripes. I think so. So I'll be working on that next. And that is a G hook as well. I'm really into those G hooks. My memory blanket. I actually, hold please. I actually put my square on my memory blanket right after I picked it this week. Really? So, so let me get the needles out, and this is I think a 3mm needle. Yeah, 3mm. So now the fun part of searching. Where is my square? This one. This nice little purple one. It looks really, really sweet, and it worked up pretty quick. So yay. So I am going to pause here and go pick my color for next week. Okay, my color for next week is this. It looks like, honestly, it looks like a leftover Felici to me, because it's got some pink and some green and some blue. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun to put in my memory blanket. So that's the one for this week. Sorry about that. All right. And then I worked on my 10 stitch because I felt like it needed some love. Ugh. Stitch stoppers work really well, in case you were wondering. All right, so I was up to here last week. So I added in another little scrap, a couple of scraps actually, and then this is all that was left of my little lavender bit. So this is where my 10 stitch blanket is. You know, it's, again, I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I just love it. It's very, this is a 2.5 millimeter needle, by the way. I don't know. It's just a really fun project. I know. My idea of fun and some people's idea of fun are not the same. I understand that. Okay, let me put this needle back in my memory blanket, and then I will tell you what the majority of my time has been spent on this week. You ready? You ready? Okay. Sorry, put my needles back, because you don't want to lose those, because I lost them last week and I had trouble finding them. All right, so the majority of my time this past week has been spent on Jessica's Battenberg. So every one of these that has a little hooky-loo in it, stitch marker in it, has been put on this week with the color one next to it. So we have, so we're counting this as 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, okay, 10, 12, 14, trying to fill in this corner that I had before, 14, 16, 18, 20. So 20 squares added this week. I'm going to go back a little bit so you can see it. So it still has a long way to go. Now, along with the white squares that I crocheted to put on it, I did some color squares, because, you know, eventually I'm going to run out of color squares. So here's the color squares that I did. Well, that was fun. And I figured out, I was like, you know what, I need to figure out how big this thing needs to be. So I figured out, I think I need 1,600 squares. So I'm going to put it up here, 1,600 squares. There, I counted that there are 360 squares in the blanket already. Oh, that's backwards. Sorry. And so that means I need 1,240 more squares to be added in. So it has been a long road with this already, but I'm never going to get done if I don't work on it, right? Right. So I am going to work on it more. I promise, because it's so pretty. It needs to be done. I was a bad podcaster. I did not sew the last bag. Sherry had contacted me, and we made a deal that I would make a bag for her, and out of the red truck, some of my red truck fabric. And she sent me a check. Sherry, that's so kind of you. And she also made a comment to me that was just so special, just really, really special. And that meant so much to me. And I just want to let you guys know that I read every comment you leave, every single one. And that's why I put a heart that I read it. But your comments to me mean so much to me. You know, I'm just trying to get through till retirement, and having those comments just helps me get through the day. So I want to thank all of you for your comments, and you know, feel free to leave more because I love reading your comments. Okay, and hopefully Sherry will forgive me for not doing her bag this week, but I'm going to do it next week, I promise. And I'll tell you how I'm going to remember at the end. All right, incoming. Do I need another big project? Did I buy yarn for another big project? Yep, sure did. So I'm going to put a picture up here of, I got an email about, hey, we're doing this mosaic blanket. Do you want to join? And I was like, I have enough. I don't need to add another one. And then I joined. So it is I'm going to put the picture. Oh, I don't know if I said that already. Whatever. But it is a Halloween mosaic blanket. I mean, come on. And so I went to Michael's and I found Halloween colors. Isn't that great? It's kind of a glow-in-the-dark green kind of. It doesn't glow in the dark, but it's that same tone. And this orange is like, got your orange. The yellow as well was very bright. And then the purple is the perfect purple. And I got black and white as well. So there may be a little bit of work done on that. Who knows? But that is all I got this week, I think. I'm trying to think. So let's talk about cows and mouths. Now, I did get tagged on Instagram, for the Halloween party MCal. So I have to do a little bit more research on that so I can put the right information into the spreadsheet for that. I have updated the spreadsheet to remove the ones that are done. And I need to tell you about the Moga and the Knits and White Satin. Sorry. Neil has reached the limit on his Jot forms for entries, so we've been very busy. So what he has asked everyone to do, if you have an entry for Make Orange Great Again or Knits and White Satin, send an email to blockedmagazine@gmail.com, and I will put that up here. Put your name and email, the details of your project, the brand, dyer, and specific colorway. Of course, you know, with Knits and White Satin, you put white. How many grams you used, and attach a picture. So that will get you an entry. So just because he's had too many entries so far, we're not going to let that stop us, and you guys can send more with the email. All right. I have been going through old shows, and it's not that I'm like so into myself. No. I have been doing it to go back and see what I've told you I'm going to do. Oh, I'm going to do that. And then I look and I go, I didn't do that. So it's also good. I started keeping notes with my notebook for the show, and it worked out really well, I got to tell you, because there was a project that I was picking back up after a while, and I didn't remember what needle size I had used. So I went through my shows until I found that. There were notes in here as well that told me the size of the needles. So if no other reason, I'm not one that keeps notes about my projects like I should, but if for no other reason, get a notebook and write down what needle size you're using, because this notebook has saved my bacon. So I will be on Knit Night tomorrow night. Let's see. Not much happened this week. Nothing crazy, which, sometimes is a blessing. We did have Steve drop by, which was so nice. I love it when my kids come and they can come to my house forever and just walk right in, and I'm fine with it. But we weren't expecting him. So him and I went to go get some food for dinner, so I could feed him. And he texted us on the way. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Okay, wait. Rewind. Okay. As he was leaving, he got to the end of our street and an accident happened right in front of him. This car was turning into our street and somebody went through the stop sign. And it hit that car and also hit one of the neighbors' cars in their driveway. And Steve was very, very fortunate that his car didn't get hit. So that was a little freaky. And I think with all of that excitement and everything else, he forgot. Our car is one of the ones where you just put the key in your pocket and, you can start the car separately. You don't need the key to start it. And he took our keys home with him. So we're going to have to go over. I have to go to the eye doctor on Tuesday. And so we're going to run over by where he works and pick up our keys. But besides that was all that had happened. So I'm going to talk to you now. My show and tell is 2 apps that I have put on my phone this week. And I will put the first one up here so you can see it. And it is called, let's see. It is called Finch. And again, I'm going to put it up here so you can see it. And Finch is so cute. You have a little bird, and it hatches out of the egg for you. And as you do your daily things that you want to do, like brush your teeth, wash your face, blah, 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 you can click those off on Finch. And it's just really, I don't know, it's a fun little way to get stuff done. So that was one. And also I'm going to invite you to be my friend. So I'm going to put my friend code up here so you can see it. So if you want to be my friend on Finch, I welcome you. But I also happened to see a video by a girl who was doing, she found an app called Focus Friend by Hank Green, and it's an ADHD friendly focus timer. Oh, okay. So I need that so much because I do have a little trouble staying focused sometimes, hence 45 projects. So I'm going to put that up here so you can see it. Now this one, you don't have to recruit friends. It's just, you do it. But what it is, it's the cutest thing. Let me see if I can show you this. See this little bean? When you put him on focus, he knits socks. Is that the cutest thing ever? Let me see if I can do it. I'm going to do like a 5-minute focus. Okay. So he's knitting socks. And at the end of that, he will show you how many socks he has knitted. And it's just so cute. But it really helped me to focus this past week, because a lot of times when I'm in the middle of like making a square for the Battenberg, halfway through I'll think, oh, I got to check this on my phone. Well, with little Bean sitting there knitting away, you can't do that. So if you stop him, he loses his stitches, and he's not very happy with you. So, you know, it worked for me. I'm not saying it's going to work for everybody, but it worked for me. So, and I'm going to just let this go. I'm going to stop talking, and then I'll cut out most of it, so at the end you can see what I see. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And he knit 4 socks. So I'm going to hit OK, and that 4 socks is going to be added. No, I don't want to break. All right. So up here, we'll show you how many socks he has knit that I haven't spent. All of this other stuff, you can sell his socks and buy little things for your room. I know it's juvenile. I don't care. I like it. I'm having fun. So, let's see. Right here is, this is other beans that you can buy. And this is where you can click different parts of the room and see if you have enough sock money to buy something new for the room. So I am enjoying it. I'm having a lot of fun with both of them. So that is that. That's all I have today. Thank you for coming by for a visit. I so look forward to you visiting, and I hope that you decide to come back next week. Bye-bye.